Hello! Welcome back to Better Minecraft, where in the last episode we explored a bunch of new stuff and we also made this lovely starter house to get us up and running. And in today's episode I have 3 important things that I want to get done. Thing number 1 is we need a solid supply of iron to keep us ticking along. So we're going to make a big old iron farm and cover that up with an absolute stonker of a build. Thing 2 is we need to get hold of some shiny diamond gear, because this iron stuff that we've got at the moment is really not cutting it, and some extra protection would probably be a good thing, especially after what happened in episode 1. And thing number 3 is about our beautiful starter house, which is not particularly beautiful inside. We have all this junk sat out here at the minute, and whilst I have organised it, which is quite impressive, I made a pinky promise that we would sort it out. So let's grab a few basic blocks to begin with, because rather than worry about fancy pants new blocks for the interior, the first thing I want to do is get a bit of a structure put together. And here's me whizzing around super fast putting it all together, but you can't really see very well when I put these walls up, so I'll show you around instead. And this is what we came up with. We've got a little entranceway in here. Through this lovely little door we've got a bedroom. If we go through here with a totally normal way of going through, this will be a big storage room, so we'll just have like chests wall to wall through here. And if we head downstairs, down here we'll have a big old kitchen and somewhere where we can do all of our smelting. And I'm thinking over in this little section here we'll have like a pantry type thing with food and cupboards and bits and bobs like that. Now we just need to get some of those fancy blocks that I was talking about earlier, and for that, yeah, I'm just gonna go raid the villagers and steal all of their stuff. Okay, this really isn't going as planned, because whilst this village looks pretty nice, there basically isn't any new blocks to rob. The only decent thing that we've got so far is a load of books, but that's okay because... have I interrupted something? Awkward! But thankfully there is another village that we found in episode 1 near spawn. I'll leave you guys to it. And because I'm super lazy, we can get there using the Waystone. And over here we definitely have some new things we can rob, because we've got buildings like this weird construction, whatever it is. And also this chef's building, which has got a load of cool new stuff like cupboards and rugs and other stuff like this. Okay, the village has been well and truly decimated. Sorry guys. But look at this, while I've been doing that, I think the season has changed and we're now in winter. It looks so beautiful with all the ice forming and the leaves all frosty. Now I really want to get home because obviously we need to finish our interior, but I also really want to see what our base area looks like in winter. Okay, other than a couple of frosty trees, it basically looks the same. But one thing that is different is in winter, some of the crops don't grow quite as fast. Like this one won't grow at all. So we need to work out what season we're in. And I've just learned that we can make a calendar which tells us what season we're in. Isn't that helpful? So now I'm finally going to get this interior sorted and I'll show you around in a jiffy. Jiffy is over and the winter finally came to our area and we have an interior. First up, here's the bedroom. These curtains are really cool and look at these fancy beds. They're literally called spruce fancy beds. Well posh. These lamps here are well nice and look at this. Ah, so good. I guess lights do turn on and off in real life, but that's a really cool feature. The storage room through here, not really much to say, but there is loads of nice different storage blocks. So not just the chests and the barrels, but we got things like the desk and also these cabinets, which give us lots of extra different storage type blocks. And finally, taking a trip downstairs, our kitchen area. I changed it a little bit, so with the plans originally had, we've got a cooking area in here now. You can make food in this pot, but I still need to figure out how that actually works. We got these chandeliers, which are literally just like 4 torches, which is really nice. And then a table and some chairs over here. Maybe we could have some guests over one day. And also, look at this. Minecraft ASMR took a big step up. There's also this room over here, which I totally forgot about when I was doing the layout earlier. Not really sure what to put in here yet, so if you've got any cool ideas, let me know in the comments. But now we really need to get moving with this iron farm. I'm running low, the tools are in absolute state, and I'm bored of manually killing golems to get my iron. So next job is to get the farm up and running, and then we can think about a build to go on top of it after. And obviously for that we're going to need some villagers. Nailed that. And seeing as we've already nicked a load of their stuff, I'm sure people like Anton are not going to mind losing their home as well. You going to get in the boat? They're having a chat about it. But hey, she convinced him. Obviously want to get rid of him, don't ya? That was fun. We now have 3 villagers living over here with us. I've temporarily put them in here while I figure out where to put the farm. And I guess that we might as well breed them up while we're over here and see if we can get some babies out of it as well. We'll leave them to some privacy, I think. There's also one over here. They attach to a barrel and I really couldn't be bothered to deal with that, so I just trapped them in a box like a totally normal person. Now we need to make the farm and I really need to find a place to put it. And I'm thinking that this mountain up here is kind of crying out for something to be built on top of it. And whilst that means trying to get these guys here up that mountain, not lush, the build that I'm planning to go on top of the farm would look really good up there. Farm time! And that started off fine as we legged it up and started to clear some space with an interlude of ending some hamsters who kept nicking my stuff. After finishing flattening down the mountain a little bit and making the villager area and the bit for the iron golems to spawn in, we grabbed some lava and then came trouble. Specifically, Deshawn. First he attached to the barrels next to my storage, so they had to go. Then these barrels had to go, which he got very upset about. He then randomly found this underground bunker, which we'll have a look at after, before we finally got him moving up the mountain with the old composter trick. But then what happened? He decided to go straight back down because he wanted to hurt me. After taking his bed and sleeping the night, I lost him, only to find him heading up the mountain himself. This dude proper confuses me. Finally we got him into the hole and then it was on to villager 2, who we ended up boating out of the house. He was much more obedient, going up the mountain and into the hole, as was villager number 3, who fell in quite nicely. And finally we are ready to get a zombie to kick this thing off, and look at this. All that kerfuffle getting villagers up here, and they only went and bloomin' made a bunch of babies. Little Jordan here is taking up the boat, but honestly, he might have to get sacrificed because nighttime is here and we need to get a zombie, like, right now. Target acquired. Hello, my friend. Would you like to come and eat a little baby? Ow! That isn't helping. Let me lock him away quickly. Run away! I think I'm making an unintentional mob farm over here. Ow! Let's sleep these hooligans away. That's better. That's what we like to see. Now what happened to little Jordan? Oh no. This looks like the leftovers of an iron golem. I guess we wait for night time and try again. Ah! Oh no! The pig! Take 2. Come with me, buddy. In you go. Hey! Let's free cam it. But hey, we're in! And the golems are spawning. Done with absolute perfection. I'm going to hang out down here for a bit, and I'll be back in a minute, hopefully with a whole load of iron. Iron Farm is chugging along nicely, all thanks to the absolutely legendary ENX04. Link in the description, OVS. And before I show you how it's going, you might notice, yeah, we're lacking a few levels. Well, this might explain that one. So yeah, thankfully replay mod's a thing. Here's me climbing out of the storage bit to check on progress, and as you can see, we've got a golem who's a little bit stuck. So let's deal with that, shall we? We grab out our sword, and yeah, I think I got a bit close. So like I was saying before this guy rudely interrupted me, the farm is chugging along quite nicely. Albeit apparently they're getting a little bit stuck sometimes. And that means before we finish thing number 1 and put a build around this thing, we have a load of iron to make pickaxes for thing number 2, which was a whole load of diamonds. So I'm going to head down here and grab a whole bunch of these ingots that we've got, so we can make some iron picks to go diamond hunting. We already have 3 diamonds that we picked up previously, So to get fully geared up with tools and armour, we're going to need another 30 odd of the blue shiny things. So I'm going to go do some boring mining, and while I do that, I'd like you guys to put forward your best rubbish dad jokes in the comments. Best worst dad joke gets 1 million snow points. Ready? Go! Well, that was incredibly dull. I hope you had some good dad jokes to brighten it up a little bit. So far I got 17 diamonds plus the 3 we've got left at home, so I've very much not got enough. But look at this place that I found. A free enchanting table, thank you very much. So far it's only given us 24 levels at the minute. In my backpack I've got a few planks, so I'm thinking I might rob a couple of these bookshelves and try and see if we can increase the levels a bit. How's that looking? Well, hey, 28, not too shabby. And efficiency 4 as well. Let's make ourselves a little cheeky diamond pick and see what we get out of it. The moment of truth. Wait, what? Why am I only getting efficiency 3 now? Hang on a minute, that doesn't make sense. What? Okay, I'm pretty confused. I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, not too bad. That'll do for now. I also blagged this Fortune 2 book from a dungeon, so we can make a Fortune 2 pick in a little while, and that'll come in pretty blooming handy. And we head around here. We can do that right now. Boom! There's also, if we head round here, a load of chests which I haven't had a look at yet. Junk. Junk. Ooh, more diamonds. Let's go. Junk. 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 And finally, I wonder what? Yeah, junk. So while I recover from the insane loot that Better Minecraft has to offer, I'm going to make myself a couple of diamond bits. And then I guess we can rob this. And then we try and find our way out of here and head back up to the surface for thing 1. Might as well nick all these as well actually while we're here. And thing 1, of course, is this place that, whilst it's giving me iron, is looking horrific as heck. And is getting looked after by a snail and a donkey. So we need to build something around this thing, and I'm going to build something that I've never actually built before. I don't really know why I'm building up the suspense. You've seen the thumbnail, haven't you? It's a castle! Which obviously we're going to need some resources for. And if we come over and check our expertly organised storage system, we have a little bit of stone, but nowhere near enough to build a whole giant castle. So first, let's grab a bit of that. Hopefully that should be enough for now. Look after it for me, buddy. Next we need a bunch of wood bits, so off we pop. And then finally I want some bricks, so to go with all of our wood, let's grab a bunch of balls too, of the clay variety. And now that's all done, I get the fun job of spending probably ages crafting up a load of blocks. I'll see you lot in a minute. Finally, a load of materials all crafted up. I honestly think that took longer than gathering the bits to make them. But now we are finally onto the building bit, and we need to figure out how to actually build a castle. And from what I can figure out, basically we need a main kinda outer wall section with towers of various shapes and sizes dotted around it to give it some shape, and then a bunch of fancy stuff to kinda jazz it up a bit. Something like this maybe? So I reckon step 1 is probably to grab a load of stone and try and come up with an outline big enough and castle-y enough to go around this thing. And starting the layout with mossy and stony bricks, here is the main structure of the build. This bit here is going to be a little bit of a lower wall with 2 little towers at the front. We'll then have 2 bigger towers on the sides with an even bigger tower at the back in the middle, and then so it doesn't look too symmetrical, 2 random bits on the side. And I'm guessing we might need to spawn proof it a little better than I have done so far. Don't you look at me like that. Now we need to build up the walls, which I think will have this kind of classic mossy interstone gradient, looking a little bit more knackered at the bottom into the more pristine stuff at the top. So let's first do the main walls. Walls are done, but obviously looking kind of weird with all these gaps. Oh, and I fixed the farm, by the way. I missed hoeing those bits because I'm a donut. Hiya! And now we can add the towers. So here's me adding 2 towers at the front, and then here's me adding a tower at the side, and then another tower, and then, oh yeah, another tower. And the towers are looking all towery, and I also added 2 blobs of stone, one at the side here, and one on the opposite side over there. And if we quickly free cam it up, we can see if we've got the height and the proportions correct. Oh yeah, that is looking bloomin' perfect. The next thing we need to do is the kind of castle-y shaped bits around the edges of the walls over here. I don't really know what they're called, but it's the bit that makes it look like an actual castle. But I'm fed up of the stone now, and I'm going to break out the stone and use some of this sakura wood. So the stairs, the slabs, the strip sakura, and also these palisade things, whatever they are. And if we tower up here, I'll show you what I mean by the castle-y walls that I was talking about. So we'll have stairs alternating like that, with a slab in the middle and some stripped logs like that. We'll have the palisade things in the middle, and then a couple of slabs on the top of each of the logs. So I'm going to whiz round the rest of the walls and add all of that in, and while I'm at it, I'll add some roofs in as well, using a little bit of granite and brick combo. Cheeky time lapse? Yeah, cheeky time lapse. Go! Oh, flipping heck, this build is getting me excited. It's funny how when you add roofs to things, they actually start looking real good. Now it just needs the finishing touches really, because it's kind of looking a bit half finished. So that will include putting Sir Pigalot up here to look after the place, adding in some little windows, adding in some really big windows. I like to fill out the bottom of towers with stuff like this so it doesn't look so flat at the bottom. We definitely need something around the front corner here, so I'm kind of thinking a little awning thing. Yeah, just like that. We can chuck a bunch of barrels, chests, campfires, feeding troughs as little storage bits for decoration. An entrance would probably be a good shout as well, right? So we don't have a big gaping hole in the front. And finally, I think this tower is looking pretty lonely over here. So maybe we can add a big ginger flag so everyone knows it belongs to me. And that right there is how you decorate the heck out of a build and make it look a little bit more finished. And from all the way back down here with the sun setting in the background, oh yeah, it's looking good up there. The final thing we need to do to finish it all off is to at least put a bunch of stuff up there so it doesn't look so lonely. And I'm going to be real, even though climbing up this hill is a right pain, right now I can't be bothered to do a path all the way up to the top. But what we can do is a little bit of path coming out of the doorway and add some other bits and bobs over around here, just to jazz it up a bit. And with a little bit of snow magic, we have my first ever castle all finished. And oh my days, I am so ridiculously happy with how this came out, you have no idea. I just blatted a load of blocks around to try and finish it off in the end, added some of these cool dirt blocks for a path, and then just spammed a whole load of poppies everywhere to finish it off. I was a little bit worried to make this thing, to be honest, but I think it came out pretty damn average. Average is a good thing, right? Although the less I say about in here the better, but honestly these guys are only living in this world for like 7 seconds, so it's not like they're missing out on anything, is it? And on that super duper fun note, I need a cuppa and I've got a huge path to finish off, so I'm out of there. Laters!